Good morning, students. Our today's topic is pollination, that is page number 27 of your NCERT book. In the preceding sections, you have learned that the male and female gametes in flowering plants are produced in the pollen grain and embryo sac. Male gamete is produced in the pollen grain. Male gamete is known as pollen grain, and female gamete is present inside the embryo sac, that is egg. As both type of gametes are non-motile, they cannot move, so they have to be brought together for fertilization to occur. How is this achieved? So this is achieved by a process known as pollination. Pollination is the mechanism to achieve this objective. Transfer of pollen grains from anther to the stigma of a pistil is termed pollination. Flowering plants have evolved an amazing array of adaptation to achieve pollination. To make use of external agents, they make use of external agents to achieve pollination. So pollination is the transfer of pollen grains from anther to the stigma of the pistil. It is achieved with the help of some pollinating agents. Kinds of pollination. Depending upon the source of pollen, pollination can be divided into three types. First is autogamy, second is geitonogamy, third is xenogamy. So first is autogamy. In this type, pollination is achieved within the same flower. Autogamy means pollination occurs in the same flower. That is, male and female part is present in the same flower. Transfer of pollen grains from the anther to the stigma of the same flower. In a normal flower which opens and exposes the anthers and the stigma, complete autogamy is rather rare. Autogamy in such flowers requires synchrony in pollen release and stigma receptivity, and also in जो plants में autogamy है उन फ्लावर्स में पोलन रिलीज और स्टिग्मा को उसको रिसीव करने की रिसेप्टिविटी सेम होनी चाहिए. सिंक्रोनी मीन्स वो दोनों सेम टाइम पे होना चाहिए. जैसे ही पोलन ग्रेन्स रिलीज हों एंथर से, उसी वक्त स्टिग्मा को भी मेच्योर एनफ होना चाहिए ताकि वो उन पोलन ग्रेन्स को रिसीव कर सके. द एंथर्स एंड द स्टिग्मा शुड बी लाई क्लोज टू ईच अदर सो दैट सेल्फ पॉलिनेशन कैन अकर. और दूसरी कंडीशन ये है कि दोनों को ही बहुत क्लोज में होना चाहिए ताकि वो आपस में एक दूसरे को सेल्फ पॉलिनेट हो पाएँ. पोलन ग्रेन और स्टिग्मा की पोजीशन क्लोज होनी चाहिए. सम प्लांट्स सच एज वायला, कॉमन नेम इज पेंसी, oxalis and commelina produces two types of flowers, chasmogamous and clistogamous. Chasmogamous flowers which are similar to flowers of other species with exposed anthers and stigma. Chasmogamous flowers वो हैं जैसे आम नॉर्मल फ्लावर की तरह, उसमें एंथर्स भी हैं और पिस्टल भी है ओपन. और क्लिस्टोगेमस फ्लावर्स हैं विच डू नॉट ओपन एट ऑल. ये हमेशा बंद ही रहेंगे और ये ओपन नहीं होंगे. एज शोन इन द डायग्राम 2.9 सी पार्ट, here clistogamous flower is shown where that has not opened, like bud like condition, closed है उसका flower और वो open नहीं होगा. Chasmogamous flowers which are like normal flowers, they will open. So in clistogamous flowers, the anthers and stigma lie close to each other. When anthers dehisces in flower buds, pollen grains come in contact with the stigma to effect pollination. Thus, clistogamous flowers are invariably autogamous as there is no chance of cross pollen landing on the stigma. So, in clistogamous flowers, because they are closed, so no outside pollen can land on the stigma. Clistogamous flowers produce assured seed set even in the absence of pollinators. Clistogamous फ्लावर्स को एक्सटर्नल पॉलिनेटर्स की भी ज़रूरत नहीं है. उनमें सेल्फ पॉलिनेशन एश्योर्ड है, क्योंकि वो क्लोज हैं, उन्हीं के पोलन्स अपने ही स्टिग्मा पर ही फॉल होंगे. डू यू थिंक दैट क्लिस्टोगैमी इज एडवांटेजियस और डिसएडवांटेजियस टू द प्लांट? वाई? दोनों चीज़ें हैं बेटा. एडवांटेजियस बिकॉज सेम टाइप ऑफ फ्लावर्स कैन बी प्रोड्यूस. डिसएडवांटेज इज दैट इट कॉजेज इन ब्रीडिंग डिप्रेशन. उसकी एफिशिएंसी भी कम हो जाती है, आउटपुट. नेक्स्ट इज गिटोनोगैमी. Transfer of pollen grains from the anther to the stigma of another flower of the same plant. Here important is the plant. Plant is same but on another flower. The pollen falls from anther to the stigma of another flower of the same plant. Although gitonogamy is functionally cross-pollination involving a pollinating agent, genetically it is similar to autogamy, since the pollen grains come from the same plant. Genetically, both the flowers are same because they are from the same plant. But functionally, it requires some pollinating agent to transfer the pollen grains. Next is xenogamy. Transfer of pollen grains from anther to stigma of a different plant. Here, plant also is different. This is only type of pollination which during pollination brings genetically different type of pollen grains to the stigma. During xenogamy, transfer of pollen grains from anther to the stigma of another flower of another plant. Now next is agents of pollination. Plants use two abiotic. Abiotics are wind and water, and one biotic, that is animal, agents to achieve pollination. Majority of plants use biotic agents for pollination. Only a small proportion of plants use abiotic agents. Pollen grains coming in contact with the stigma is a chance factor in both wind and water pollination. To compensate for these uncertainties and associated loss of pollen grains, the flowers produce enormous amount of pollen when compared to the number of ovules available for pollination. The number of pollens are more as compared to the number of ovules. Ovules are generally one or two, but pollen grains are produced in large amount, enormous amount, because they have to travel from one flower to the other with the help of wind or water, so loss can occur. So to compensate for that loss, they are produced in large amount. Pollination by wind is very common amongst abiotic pollinations. Wind pollination also require that the pollen grains are light and non-sticky so that they can be transferred in wind currents. Here question can be asked, what are the characteristics of wind pollinated plants? So first is their pollen grains are light and non-sticky. Non-sticky means वो किसी के साथ चिपकते नहीं, so that they can be transferred with the help of wind. And they often possess well exposed stamen. Reason? So that the pollens are easily dispersed into wind currents. Their pollens are fully exposed, खुले होते हैं ताकि with the help of air they can travel towards the stigma. And large, often feathery stigma is to easily trap airborne pollen grains. In wind pollinated flowers, the stigma is often feathery, large, so that it can trap the pollen grains which are coming with the help of air. Wind pollinated flowers often have a single ovule in each ovary and numerous flowers packed into an inflorescence. In the case of wind pollinated flowers, many flowers, the group of flowers are there which forms the inflorescence. A familiar example is the corn cob. The tassels you see are nothing but the stigma and styles which wave in the wind to trap pollen grains. Wind pollination is quite common in grasses. In figure 2.10, a wind pollinated plant showing compact inflorescence, and well exposed stamen is shown. Pollination by water we will study next time. Thank you.